Hi, everyone. Okay, so today I have dragged my Rhea Kapoor to shoot with us. And literally, I've dragged her here, and I think her condition was sweats. So here we are in full glams.
But sweats.
Yeah. For anyone who doesn't know, Rhea is the most amazing stylist. She is a film producer. She has produced the most amazing films which are women-centric and super fun and stylish, like The Crew and Aisha, of course.
Yes, the OG.
Should we start with Aisha? Do you remember the day we met?
No, I mean, I don't remember the day that we met, but I remember how I found you.
Okay, how did you find me?
I found you because I saw something that you styled in Bazaar.
I was
think
there
it
for a very short time, yeah.
So I was looking for someone to work on Aisha with me, and I knew that I needed a very specific sort of disruptor.
Yeah.
I knew I needed someone that's not part of the system because I didn't want to make a film, or I didn't want the film to look like anything that's out there.
Yeah.
And I didn't want someone to tell me that yehi chalta hai, ye nahi chalta hai. I just wanted someone who came in fresh. And then I met you, and I don't remember our meeting per se.
You came home for a party or a brunch I was doing. I was friends
that the
with
first time I
Rhea's
met
cousin,
you?
and you came with him.
Yeah.
And then that's how we met.
Even though you were so exposed to fashion overseas, and you obviously had an admiration for French designers and European designers and American designers, you also love Bollywood.
Obsessed.
You're obsessed.
That's an understatement.
You see people who are fully filmy, or then you see people who are like, oh my God, I love this and I love that and I don't like Bollywood. And this really irritates me.
Yeah.
I hate any kind of creative snob. And plus you were a Delhi girl.
Yeah.
And the way that you dressed and the way that you were, and you didn't care what people thought. And I was like, I think this is my Aisha stylist. I think I found her. That experience for me as a filmmaker and as a girl was one of the purest experiences of my life, because we were so naive in a way that
I think made it work.
No, that's what I'm trying to say.
We didn't overthink anything.
We didn't overthink it. We just did what we loved. We didn't have any fear. I never thought 35-year-old, 37-year-old me was told today that you're going to make this film for the first time and with these actors, and this is the concept, and this girl is this unlikable gray character, and she's this whatever. I would think 100 times because I'd be so afraid, because the more you know what I mean? And I think that innocence and that passion, we just did it because we loved it and we didn't really care what anybody else thought. And sometimes I crave that.
Yeah.
I miss that.
Whoever you start your journey with, you'll never forget those people, and they'll always hold that really special place.
When the film came out, it was a little ahead of its time, and I feel because the character... See, we have a lot of preconceived notions about things that are inherently feminine in nature. Beautiful clothes, jewelry, girls that have an affinity to look good or whatever. You assume they're stupid. You assume it's dumb. You assume it's empty. We don't say that about a boy who likes a monster truck or a guy who wants a fancy car. We don't say that he's stupid,
Exactly.
But somehow a girl who wants to... it's the whole Legally Blonde syndrome.
Yeah.
Eventually Elle Woods was brighter than anybody else, but people judged her, know. And I feel that happened with Aisha. Because it was put in such a pretty package, people wanted to push it down. And I was 21 when I made the film. I was 23 almost when the film came out. And my innocence was oh my God, everyone's gonna, be open-minded and everyone's gonna love it. And it's something new and it's something fresh. And especially growing up in the industry, you've grown up around all those people. They're your parents' friends. You put something out there and all of a sudden you realize, oh no, this is a business. Not everybody's open to new things, and they might join in with people making fun of you. And sometimes that mockery comes from being afraid of something that's new. But at that time, I was oh my God, what have we done? But till date, I feel Aisha is the film that most girls come up to me for.
It has a cult status.
I just know that when it comes to sleepovers and when it comes to girls needing a film to make them feel better when they're sick or they go through a breakup, that name keeps coming up, and nothing in the world can make me happier than that. And now that I've grown up, I realize sometimes when you do things that are out of people's comfort zone, it may affect them. It doesn't mean you're right or wrong, but it's okay to take it in your stride as a creative person, you know? And that is one of the most valuable lessons that a creative person can be taught.
I know fashion is cyclical, and I know that classic fashion lasts forever, but there is a certain look that was created that the industry like caught on to, and whenever they're showing a stylish urban girl, it literally looks like she's walking out of Aisha, right?
I remember when we put that film out, how alone I felt, how alone we felt because nobody got it. And I don't want any other actress or producer or director to feel that way. So I feel like if they feel a oneness with that genre and oneness with that film, then fucking good for them.
Yeah.
There wasn't that respect or that acknowledgement for young girls needing content too, you know, and that's not fair.
Yeah.
Why should everything be for the boys? The film definitely resounded with a lot of girls, with a lot of filmmakers, a lot of stylists, and makes me proud.
Yeah.
Should make you proud.
No, it makes me very proud. I keep forgetting about it until I see somebody doing something which...
Because there's so much of you in Aisha, especially the main character, you know.
True. I want to discuss the costumes of crew, especially the uniforms that the women wore. So she showed it to me when it was like the sketches, when it was like in development. And I was like, these look amazing. But the way they came out, I think surpassed my expectations.
Yeah.
I wish there was an airline that would pay you guys to take those designs off of you and put it as real crew uniforms. Especially the red.
I'm open to it.
Yeah, the red with the scarf and the, oh my, so chic.
Kunal Rawal had the idea for the little pagdi hat, which I have to give him, even though I don't give him much credit. But fine, I'll give you that, Kunal. The idea of a red uniform came from Rahul Nanda, who's a publicity designer who's brilliant. And I had this idea in my head for like months and months and months, which is I wanted to modernize the idea of a dupatta. We had Antithesis and we had Akshata Shetty. She's really good with tailoring. I think it took us 3 months of just fittings to get the
costume.
Because it had to look good on everybody.
Yeah.
And it had to look good in every angle. I knew this uniform was going to be like in 60-70% of the film. So it made me so nervous. And I thought the girls were great. Red looks amazing on Indian girls.
They looked amazing. Tell me what it is. I mean, we have these discussions all the time, but you are a film producer. You were, like, as you discussed, a film producer at a very young age, at 21, which is like unheard of.
Yeah.
What is it like, just to discuss it on camera as well, we have these discussions, to be a female producer in Bollywood as starting off very young?
I got the opportunity because I was Anil Kapoor's daughter and Sonam Kapoor's sister. I'm very clear about that and I understand that. And I'm forever humbled by it and grateful for it. We all suffer from a certain amount of imposter syndrome where sometimes you are given things in life or sometimes you even work hard for something and you reach a particular juncture and you're like, am I going to be able to like pull this off? Am I right for this? Can I do this? No matter how hard you work for it. But you have to be so strong in letting your passion and letting what you want to do and your intention guide you. And that is what I've learned from my father.
Yeah.
There's this crazy story about, you know, he was talking to an actor, my dad, who had to ride a horse in a film. And he was like, you know, I trained for months, you know, to be able to ride a horse properly and all. And dad started talking about the first time he had to ride a horse. He's like, I had no idea. I just got on that horse and I just didn't leave it. And I was like, that's conviction, you know? And I feel like that's been me. I got onto that horse since I'm 21 and I'm not going to leave it, you know? I'll do anything in my power. And I know, like when I was making Khoobsurat and when we were coming out with this idea of, we were making Disney's first live action film. And legitimately we're in a fairy tale with a prince and this like, you know, girl who's definitely not from a royal family.
Yeah.
And the one thing I loved about it is she didn't need a fairy godmother. She can't need a fairy godmother and change everything about herself just to have her prince.
Exactly.
You know? And at that point, I was like, oh shit, like, this is what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to make these films for these, for girls, for myself, for my friends, for my sister. Like, that's what I'm meant to do. And that's the reason that my access and my opportunities as Anil Kapoor's daughter has put me in this position. So I can do shit that maybe is fucking impossible for 30 other girls to do or 300 other girls to do. And I took that realization really seriously. So for me, there have been a lot of times where I know I'm being patronized. I can feel sexism even till date when I'm sitting in my pre-production meetings. But my determination is so strong that I have blinders on and I just shut off the noise. if you're a young girl in any profession, I just want to say it's not going to be easy, but you and your work are way larger than that.
So let's talk some passion now.
Oh my God.
Fun stuff. Fun stuff. What is the styling process? Like I spoke to Sonam about this. I think there's a certain combination of you and Sonam that works really well. Because you both have great style, slightly different style, but great style. And it comes together really well. How does that whole process work?
When it comes to styling, I feel like I am obsessed with the story, because anybody can pull clothes if you have the right celebrity with you.
Yeah.
But can you create a dream? And
can you inspire people?
Can you inspire
a lot of the
people?
work you guys do inspires many other stylists and actors to kind of follow in that direction.
Because it doesn't come from a trend. Because Sonam and I, we've never had perfect bodies. And a lot of our idea of fashion came from a female gaze. So that's always been what it's about. It's about things that make girls feel safe.
We have to discuss Radhika's look, the lehenga that you got painted.
Jayashree Burman, yeah.
The Jayashree Burman and Abu Sandeep. I think that look recently, plus the haldi phoolon ka dupatta she wore, those two things I think broke the internet in the sense that you couldn't log on and see anything else.
No. So when it came to the Jayashree Burman Abu Sandeep lehenga, this idea, I'm not joking, had been in my head for maybe 10 years.
Really?
We were trying to figure out what Radhika would wear for her reception. The first day of her as Radhika Ambani. And for me, Indian art, it's an incredible investment. You know, everybody wants a piece of it. And obviously, Jayashree Burman has been such a influential artist in my life because my mom, my Masi, my sister, even my friend Samyukta Nair are all obsessed with her. And I've known her family for so long. You know Burman. He's an incredible photographer as well. And I, in fact, saw a really beautiful, massive painting of hers in their Jamnagar home.
Okay.
I was like, obviously, it has to be done. It has to be Abu Sandeep.
Yeah.
Because, again, their respect for Indian craftsmanship, they know art. They're art lovers. They love it.
Their work is timeless also.
Their work is timeless.
I have Abu Sandeep, 20 years old from my mom from the 90s.
And if you wear it, look like...
I wear it today like as if it's the most relevant outfit ever.
Because it is.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And so I spoke to Sandy and I was like, what do you think?
Yeah.
And then he was like, no, I love it. I love the idea. Then I spoke to Radhika about it. And she was like, no, I love the idea as well. And then we had to do the call with Jayashree auntie. And I was like, oh my God, she's going to think that we're crazy.
Yeah.
So anyway, we spoke to her and she was open to it because I was like, Jayashree auntie, we'll frame the lehenga after and we'll put it up like a piece of art. And Radhika was so respectful and she was so grateful. And she was like, how? She's like, how are we going to try it? And what are we going to do with it? And it shouldn't be like, she was so, she understood the significance of it. And that made me really happy. And I knew that it was going to turn out well. It was Sandy's idea to do the hot pink.
Yeah, I like the hot pink.
Yeah.
I like the hot pink.
And I was like, of course, like she's a new bride and she should be in a very like khush
festive color.
Yeah.
How long did it take her to paint it actually?
This whole project took about 3 months.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad. And she wanted to kill us, I think, because we were like, we need it tomorrow.
She's like, I'm an artist. Can I have some time?
No, but she asked some questions about Radhika and Anant and things like that. And this outfit is just one of the most humbling experiences of my career. And I think it's been one of my, like, I love it as one of my best looks.
Yeah, and I think everyone agrees.
And the phoolon ka chadar was... I was like, I just wanted to be simple.
Yeah.
Moti, phool. And that color is what Radhika wanted to wear.
Yeah,
that was
very
her
pretty
idea.
color. Yeah.
And these things just kept going on in my head. And Anamika had this idea and we just kind of obviously fine-tuned it together and made it wearable.
So you just did like the biggest wedding of the year.
I realized that now.
Exactly. What should brides be looking into?
We don't realize how much impact the women that we grow up with have on us and how much they affect the things that we find beautiful. So in your case, obviously Nasreen is like your fashion icon, you know?
Yeah.
And for me, a lot of it is my mother and my Masi. I saw the same with Radhika as well. Her mom has a huge impact and her sister has a huge impact.
Her mom is really pretty.
Her mom is beautiful.
So is her sister. They're all good-looking family.
I sort of started understanding Radhika's style a little more when I was around the women in her life. And I think that it's very important when you're getting married to be very connected to yourself because that moment it's like a rite of passage.
Yeah.
You know, you're going into another phase in your life. And whatever can ground you and connect you to that is what you should reach for. And
so make it an emotional journey. Your style and what you end up doing in terms of like how you look should be, I think, led by what moves you emotionally and 100%. Your family and what, those kind of things.
100%. Yeah.
Tell me this, when you wore the pearl.
Yeah.
It's not a veil because it didn't cover your face, but it was like a pearl chadar dupatta on your head at your wedding. And those were real pearls.
Yeah.
Stunning. Where did that come from?
I just knew that I wanted to get married in my living room.
Yeah.
And then I just wanted to disappear with my husband. My mom bought this necklace, this Jadao necklace, maybe 5 years before I got married or 4 years.
Yeah.
And I saw that necklace and I was like, I think I want to wear that to my wedding. Everything that I wore, I didn't buy. It was already there.
Collected.
It was all collected. It was already there. And my mom was just like, just be comfortable. Yeah. Just be comfortable. So I called up Anamika and I was like, I'm getting married in 3 weeks. She's like, I'm going to murder you.
She's like, why do you always do this?
And I was like, I want to wear a mal sari.
Yeah.
I kept thinking I was telling Anamika, like, what can be on my head, but it's not like on my head. And I was like, can we make it with just pearls? She was like, speak to Yash. Maybe he has something, Yash at Birdi Chand. And I called him and he's like, I actually have this. He's like, it cannot be made. He's like, it's really old, but it's my personal. I called him and I was like, Yash, it's my wedding. Like, I'd really like to buy it because I'd want to give it to my daughter.
Yeah.
And he gave it to me as a wedding present.
That's so sweetest.
My wedding was over in like 35-40 minutes. We went up to my 3rd floor. We ate amazing food. I took my dog. Karan brought his dog. We put them in the car. And we went to the apartment that I live in now. And my friends came over. We ate like some like snacks and I threw everybody out at 12 and went to sleep.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That sounds perfect.
It was perfection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are the brands you're loving right now?
Any brand that makes sweats.
For me, it's any brand that makes pajamas. Yeah. I love living in pajamas.
I am loving this brand. It's a contemporary brand called Palmer Harding.
Okay, I haven't heard of it.
It's not a couture brand. It's not a very...
Yeah, it's easy wear.
It's contemporary. It's expensive, but it's contemporary. But I like the way that they drape. I like the way that it feels on my body. Honestly, I really like Skims also.
Very comfortable.
They're very comfortable.
Skims took me through my pregnancy.
Yeah. I'm wearing this brand, Necessera. They're an Indian brand. 2 girls from Delhi, actually.
Really? Very cute.
Yeah. And they make...
Fabric is nice.
The fabric is amazing. And I'm absolutely... Like, I'm loving their loungewear. Like, I want to just look at it for work and I don't want to think about what I wear.
That happens. What about accessories?
Classic. I love my vintage accessories.
Vintage, yeah.
I love my vintage earrings. And I like going through that treasure hunt. I'm loving Alaya right now.
Alaya's having a big moment. Alaya's gone very mainstream.
I think Amit Agarwal had a great show right now.
Yeah.
He had a fantastic show right now. And I really, really like that he stuck to who he is.
Yeah. Indian accessories? Isharia? I like Isharia. I'm wearing them.
Yeah, Isharia is super cute. We use them in Aisha as well. Yeah. And my favorite, probably one of my favorite jewelers ever, Viren Bhagat. Like, I can't.
Yeah.
I think that beautiful Navratan that Aisha wore.
That Navratan, I have zoomed into it.
Yeah.
Into every Ratan. It's been like, what is this?
But he's an artist, he's just...
Stunning piece.
Yeah, so I honestly, me, I'm not fussy.
Yeah.
I like one thing and then I keep wearing that same thing over and over and over again.
Chalo, on that note, let me gift you some jewelry. We have here from Isharia. Since you do love jewelry.
And I love Isharia.
I want to segue into a very exciting segment.
Oh my God.
Because you're a very good boss. You love your assistants.
I try.
Yeah, you try.
I do. I'm obsessed.
You love your assistants. Like you said, they even show up to work when they don't need to show up to work. Are they here? Do you want to introduce this dream team?
Yeah, I feel like it's really important because every time, stylists get asked about their work, people don't realize that there's a village that goes behind it. Shireen actually was my very first assistant ever. She would literally single-handedly do like canned red carpets with me and things. Then she became a content creator and abandoned me. But now she's come back and she was actually the key stylist on Radhika Merchant's wedding and she did an incredible job. She highlights one of the most important things it takes to be a good stylist, which is I think she's one of the most resourceful girls I've ever met. And she finds a way to be everybody's friend. Very, very important because what people don't realize being a stylist is that there's no place for ego. You're there to perform a service. Okay, then behind me is my shyest assistant, possibly the most creative. I feel like apart from my mother, I have this other voice in my head, which is Manisha. Then there's Abhilasha. Abhilasha is my most meticulous stylist. She's possibly, I think, one of the best menswear stylist. She's Diljit Dosanjh's stylist.
Who is literally like
no joke.
the most stylish man in this country, maybe in the world.
Sanya is the baby of the group. I think it's a boon to yourself as a stylist when you surround yourself with strong girls, and it's our duty to make sure that they find their voice.
Yeah.
Sanya is having that journey right now. I really believe that they're the future.
Saya, tell me, were you intimidated joining Rhea and this team? No, honestly, like, because, you know, a lot of girls want to be stylists and they have to join somebody, right?
It happened, I think, super organically and naturally. I ended up on the sets of Veera the Wedding. I think like a dream film for anybody to have ever started their career with.
Yeah.
And I'm in this room with all of these amazing clothes. I'm just like, wow, what did I do to get here? Like something must have gone right.
Yeah. Shuri, tell me this, because you were very successful as a content creator as well.
Yeah.
What brought you? No, you were. You were. What brought you back into styling? Was it just like an innate love for this to come back into it?
So I created content for like 8 or 9 years.
Yeah, a while, yeah.
And then I got bored.
Okay, yeah, that's
It
fair
got
enough.
a little like monotonous and a little boring for me. And I just feel like I wanted to like be a little more creative, and I wanted to like create like some different content every time, because it started to get a little repetitive for me.
Yeah.
So I just felt like maybe I should like try styling a little bit. It was one message to Rhea. I'm like, Rhea, I feel like I want to style again.
Yeah.
And
Back in.
back in.
Yeah.
And back in how like
Deep.
the wedding.
She threw
Like,
you in deep.
I love it. Like it's been the last 1 year has been like, it's been insane.
Yeah.
Like, literally, like the work that I've done, the brands that I've got to work with. Like as a content creator, I would never have been able to work with like a Vivienne Westwood or with like Oscar de la Renta or any of these brands. So it's a dream.
What that you learned with Rhea Abhilasha, are you seeing yourself apply to styling when you're doing other people, like say a Diljit, who's an icon?
With her, it's very like research oriented. Make sure you're looking at new options, constantly find new designers, constantly like make sure you're doing something different and never the same in that way. So your research has to be like incredible, and like you have to keep finding new people.
Yeah.
And definitely not doing what others are doing.
Yeah.
Like stick with like having like a vision in that sense.
An original vision.
Yeah, exactly.
And Manisha, who have you enjoyed working with the most through Rhea? Like which
Sonam.
Let's admit Sonam is in-house. She is. Okay, Sonam is a part of the family. Outside the family, who else?
With Rhea, I had the best time with Alia as well.
Alia?
Yeah.
What look did you guys do that was amazing with Alia? I mean, you did a
I
few,
love
but
the Vaishali S.
Vaishali S for the NMAC opening.
Manisha has discovered this designer.
Very good. She shows in Paris actually.
Yeah,
this Vaishali.
incredible, beautiful.
That was a very good look. So you did that with Rhea.
Yes.
That was beautiful.
So another
I loved it.
So for example, we were doing all of these looks for NMAC, okay, and there was this moment where I was like, do we have the time to like custom something from scratch?
Yeah.
And you know, when something is raw, you don't know whether it's going to work out right,
Exactly.
and you don't want to take a chance, especially if it's the first time you're working with a celebrity. And at that point, I was like, should we pursue this?
Yeah.
And Manisha was like, we have to. I'm telling you. She was so convinced about it, you know. And so that's why, like, you need people there to like push you. And I might be biased, but I genuinely believe it's one of Alia's best looks she's ever done.
Looked
like a queen.
Like a queen.
Like
She
a
looked like a
goddess.
queen. That day she looked like a queen. What did you guys do to apply? How did you get into this? At least one or two of you tell me, like, what did you do, Abhilasha? How did you get into this?
Actually, I started working with Rhea because of my friend Akriti, and
So through a friend who knows a friend.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I'm telling you, right place, right time is a thing.
Yeah.
Some things are meant for you. You know what I mean? Like, even if you don't know anyone, you'll be somewhere, you'll meet someone who knows someone, and then you'll be like, oh, can you connect me? And then it just happens, right?
Yeah.
I'm asking a question in your podcast.
Please do.
And if you had to give advice to young girls and boys who are hustling to be independent stylists right now, what would that advice be?
You have to constantly be consistent. Styling is really fun, but it's also really hard, and you constantly have to do your research, find the brands. But the main thing is you need to put in the hard work. Without that, it's nothing.
Shiru, what is the one thing that was tough about styling that you didn't expect to be that tough?
I knew I wanted to do fashion, but like I didn't want to design. So styling was the only like direction for me and I started with Purnia.
You introduced me to Tanya. She was assisting me. She abandoned me. I said, Dan. She's like, no, Shireen is really good. Burns, don't worry. She knows that she got it, whatever. I said, okay, hi, Shireen. And we met over the phone or something.
Yeah.
And then Shireen took over that project, and then Shireen got into you guys, and then I guess there was a really good synergy or whatever. And then it's just so crazy how
She's one of the loves of my life.
yeah, it's just all connected. It's crazy.
It
It's
was
crazy.
like right
yeah.
the right time
Yeah.
situation.
Crazy.
But no, styling is it's hard. It's a lot of hard work, and I feel like for people who want to get into the scene right now, you have to say yes to work. Like a lot of people,
Yeah.
I feel like want to. It's good to see like commercials and like monies and everything, but like just say yes to like work. Like that's how opportunities will come to you. And then it's a slow process, but you get there.
Yeah, and work gets more work, I feel, right?
That's the
the
most
thing. Like
important.
how money makes money, work gets you more work.
Yeah.
That's just like, I feel like my philosophy at the end of the day. No, I'm not going to let this go.
Oh.
One word to describe Rhea as a boss. Come on, Abhilasha. One word, 50-50, let's go.
She's like, bitch.
No.
No one's going to hold you to it, just say it. Okay, Sanya, you say what I should think.
I'm just gonna say visionary.
Visionary.
So
Visionary. That's true though, huh?
Yeah,
what about
super
you?
creative.
Yeah,
That's true.
Super creative, huh?
Can I say like hilarious?
Hilarious.
That's
Yeah.
really funny. Like
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not working with her.
Yeah. I agree with all of
Thanks,
this.
guys.
I agree.
I
with all
promise
of
I didn't bring them here to praise you. I thought it would give insight to people who want to be stylists.
Yeah. But this was fun.
Yeah, it was so fun. Thank you for coming.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
See, now, was it so scary?
No, not at all. It was so chill. Come on. She's like, what are you guys talking about? She's over it.
Yeah.
No, but I just want to quickly thank you. I love you.
I love you.
Thank
too.
you guys for being here. Thank you for this beautiful lounge, personal shoppers lounge at Geo World Plaza. It is amazing. You can do your shopping. You can get ready here. You can try on your clothes here. The whole place is just like stunning. Thank you for having us here. And I love you girls. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Bye.